Going on there, folks? Earthmaster here, jumping in on this Wednesday evening, March 24th, 2021, 8:36 p.m. West Coast time in California, where the latest quake out here in Hawaii is a 2.8. Looks like they may, 2.5, sorry. Was showing a 2.8 up there for a quick second. Anyway, activity kind of ramping up a little bit there in the Big Island, in that little southeast corner right there, where we've seen quite a bit of earthquake activity over the past couple years or so. It just seems to be continuously building there. Mauna Loa still showing a little bit of activity around the crater region. A small microquake there, 0.6 within that crater area, or at least outside of the caldera. West Coast activity been ramping up a little bit off the coast of Northern California. You can see that movement here in between, the San Andreas Fault, which sits right about here, and also a secondary fault system there called the, what is that, Makama Fault Zone, the north section there, kind of a lengthy fault system that kind of builds the coastal ranges out here. This pressure and activity taking place between the major plate boundary of that, the San Andreas Fault, and this Makama Fault system here. 4.0 was triggered this morning. Since then, we've seen a couple small aftershocks here, about 4 of them, all within about the same location. The depth of these earthquakes, about 8 kilometers or so, out there in the wilderness of the coastal range. Still continued activity there in the geysers. That's very active. If that ever stops, then we might want to be wondering what's going on there. A little bit of activity down south here near Soledad as well. A couple small earthquakes, 2.0 there, and also a 2.0 prior to that region. A couple earthquakes up around the San Jose region. Nothing really big. I guess a 3.3, about the largest size quake within the Bay Area, near Gilroy, at least east of Gilroy. That earthquake looks like it's occurring on the Calaveras Fault system there. Let's see if I can get that. Yep, Calaveras Fault. Another lengthy system that is definitely overdue for a pretty good size quake up here. Kind of keeping an eye on that region. See an increase today. Down south, really nothing new to report. Just a couple small microquakes around the LA area, or I should say Southern California region, west side of the plate boundary, which is the San Andreas Fault. No new swarming to report there in the Salton Sea area. Another small earthquake there, looks like popped up. When did that pop up? A little bit ago. How did I miss this one? Up near Shasta Lake, California, north of Redding, up in the mountains there. Mount Shasta sits way up here, ways away from the 2.2 that just struck in the Trinity Mountains area. Beautiful area, but I don't know how much burn there last year. Was some fires all over the place there. Idaho's seen some earthquake activity. Nothing new really to report there. Just some sporadic movement all along the Intermountain West area. Also, Texas still kind of rocking and rolling out there with thunderstorms and earthquakes, right? Thunderstorms and earthquakes and tornadoes. Seen a tornado there on the social media site just a little bit ago. I can't remember the name of that town. I think it was like Meridian or something there. But still, looking at some noisy storms coming into the Texas area tonight. What else we got here, folks? As far as internationally goes, pretty quiet. Not a whole lot of activity to report above the 4.0 threshold that the USGS puts out. Pacific Ring of Fire along the west along the western section, pretty quiet. Even down here near Tonga, just a small little 4.4, 399 kilometers below the surface, and activity dying down through the Indonesia area as well. So a little bit of a quiet spell going on here on planet Earth, at least as far as the western Pacific goes. Of course, the eastern Pacific, that's when we see things light up, and vice versa there, when the two like to play games there, I guess, quiet over here on the west, starts picking up here on the east. What else we got? Yellowstone National Park, pretty quiet, folks. Not a whole lot of activity to report there at the supervolcano. I just like to cover that every night. Kind of what got me started in on earthquakes and whatnot many years ago. Supervolcano. So yeah, pretty quiet there. Tremor department also very quiet. No major movement to report along the Cascadia subduction zone there. Just a little bit, about 54 epicenters there at the south end, and also up here towards the north, kind of towards the northern end there in Washington, right around Olympia there. A couple tremors being reported. But overall, pretty quiet, folks. So, what else we got? I think that's about it, folks. I'm just going to cut this video short, and we'll keep an eye on the Pacific Plate for now out here along the eastern part, and see what Mother Nature wants to put in the mix there for us. I see the severe weather potential is really ramping up again tomorrow for the south part, or the southern states, I should say. Oh, I don't know, right around Alabama area, Mississippi, all those areas going to get hit again with some severe weather and potentially that tornado outbreak word once again. Just kind of a crazy deal, no doubt. I'm really wanting to go into storm chase mode here pretty soon. I'm not a big fan of chasing out there, and they call it the jungle because there's lots of trees out there in the Louisiana eastward, East Texas eastward, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi area. Even Arkansas has got quite a few trees up there. My preferred method of chasing is northern Texas, northward into Oklahoma and Kansas. Beautiful flat plains. You can see these storms a mile away, or a couple 100 miles away probably. I've watched thunderstorms way on the horizon, and I was like, man, I wonder how far that is. And that's, it's like 60, 70, 80 miles away. So, yeah, I prefer the flatlands out there when it comes to the storm chasing career. But anyway, folks, have a good night, okay? Cut it short. Just going to, take it easy the rest of the night, and we'll chat you guys sometime tomorrow. If you are out there in the southern states, please be prepared for that severe weather potential out there. It's nothing to mess around with. All right, guys. Have a good night. Peace out.